Hello YouTubers! Today's topic is going to be on police abuse. Now, I went to the art festival here in my local town about a week ago, last weekend, April 20th as a matter of fact. And I noticed, some different police officers and such all standing around with their sunglasses on. I noticed two of them sitting up on a scissor lift, one with binoculars, the other one just standing there, just two of them. They were just surveying the crowd. And, I decided, I needed to take that picture. I posted it on Facebook, and we'll talk about Facebook another time. But I wanted to relay what, I thought about police brutality and such. Now, I'd like to read from you, or to you, about what I wrote on Facebook. The header, or the subject, of this particular picture was to dictate and abuse. I have a great idea. How about they get off their high horse, quote unquote, and get out and mingle and talk with the people they claim to protect. Maybe, just maybe, some of us might actually start trusting them again. I put a little smiley face at the end of that. Well, my sister, she used to be a police officer. She decided to have a child and kind of like just let that part of her life go by. She also had back surgery, and but she put, how do you know some of them aren't already doing that? I posted, I don't know about all of them, but a few I was thankful to see around the art festival. Not one of them was doing anything but watching the crowd, expecting people, American citizens, to do wrong. You were a cop. What was your instructions on how to communicate with citizens? Was it to handcuff them and frisk them if they needed a ride or were stranded? Was it to tase them if they stood up for themselves and their rights? Was it to handcuff them and then beat the holy fuck out of them because they didn't like the color of their skin, or the way they dressed, or that they ran from you because they were fucking scared of what you would do to them and they could not defend themselves? Not all police, but more than you are willing to admit to, think of themselves as gods. And they hide their abuses that they inflict upon others within their thin blue line. I know not every cop is corrupt, but it really only takes one corrupt cop and his or her department hiding that abuse and his fellow cop friends perpetrating that abuse by vindicating and validating it to them and for them to ruin it for the rest of them. Never trust any cops. A lot of exclamation points. Then you will be fine and dandy like wine and candy. Of course, my little wink, smiley face. And then I go on to say, go ahead and tell us that when you served, that absolutely no abuses were performed upon the citizens or other cops. And I will delete this entire thread. Make me believe it though, because I know better. You have told me a thing or two about a thing or two. Smile. Then my uncle piped in. I still like to think that most police are good and honest people. It does appear to me that an increasing number are individuals that want to hide behind their mirrored sunglasses and bully people. Why not take the glasses off and make actual eye contact with the people they meet? They might be surprised at how well humans respond when you can make eye contact and converse at an equal level. Of course, I liked that. I said exactly my point. Thank you, Uncle. Then I went on to say, unfortunately, Uncle, we are both living in a dream world. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is the truth of our world, not the fantasy that we tell ourselves. Then I went on to say, the cop attitude is there are only two kinds of people, victims and perpetrators. Vicks and perps, if you will. This is the consensus that I have fathomed through a continued effort to understand them. Know your enemy. This is what they are programmed with. They do not protect and serve anymore. They never truly did. They simply dictate and abuse. Of course, this is my own slant on the issue and my opinion. Not all officers are dictators and abusers. All it takes is one though. And we all know deep down in our hearts, even if we haven't done the research, which I have, that there cannot be just one. Did a little smiley face at the end of that. I went on to say, by the way, based on my words, if anyone hears that I was killed in a police shooting or a traffic stop or any other officer-involved incident, that it was based on these words. And all the other words I use, and not based on the hype the cops or the media, there goes my timer, try to be quick guys, based on the hype that the cops and media will propagate to you. I am simply stating my opinion. I am not a vigilante. I do not encourage vigilantism. I simply speak out against injustice. I speak out against the raping of our Constitution, observing my right to freedom of expression and free speech. Not the right afforded to me by the Constitution, but the right every man, woman, and child has from birth. Some people call those God-given rights. I call them human rights. Smiley face. Last thing here. My point to all of this is thus. Simply because someone has might does not make their abusive behavior right. It's that simple. Just because you have might doesn't make it right. There's a lot of abuse going on in this country. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Be sure to rate, comment, all the good stuff, and catch you later on the next show. Have a great day. Carpe diem.